experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experiences there, but also because of what Darth Sidious told him. That mood because of his personal experience.
What's going on? It's your boy Sheiv the Wise, and welcome to Beta's Lair. Let's get it going because we have a bit to talk about before tomorrow's Mandalorian Season 3 continues. I am so hyped for it. I got a lot to talk about, or get off my mind at least. It might be a little bit of a shorter stream, but we're gonna jam a lot into it because I have a big question. Is Grogu the chosen one? Let's do it. Welcome into the chat. I don't know why the music just restarted, but that's cool. Hope everybody is doing well, and happy Monday to you guys. I apologize for any little inconveniences there might be on the stream. It is a new computer that I am getting used to, but it is a beast of a computer. So I apologize for any little lags or, Darth Sidious's that might be, telling people to do stuff. It happens. Welcome into the chat, though, guys. I am glad to see you all. Thank you for becoming a member. I can't even see what that says. Lord Vito, thank you for being a member for 5 months. Let's talk about it, though, because my big question of the day, and let me know what you guys are thinking in the chat. Could Grogu be the chosen one? And I don't really necessarily think it's the chosen one that you might be thinking of in terms of the prophecy for the Jedi. However, there is a Songs of Eons Past prophecy, I guess you could say, from the Book of Boba Fett, in which the armor basically talks about how the Songs of Eons Past foretell that the Mythasaur will rise up and herald in a new age of Mandalore. So my question today is, we've seen the Mythasaur now. We've had a glimpse of it, at least in the Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2. So now, leading into tomorrow, who will tame the Mythasaur and become the next Mandalore, I guess, or herald in the new age of Mandalore? Lord Vito, dude. You keep doing it, my guy. Thank you for the 5 gift memberships. Much love, dude. Hey, dude, I really appreciate it. If you guys happen to be one of the lucky 5 people that get to become a member, and I already see some up there. Talented Mr. Griffin, thanks for being a member for 7 months, my man. But if you happen to be one of those 5 people that just was gifted a membership from Vito, make sure to go thank him in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Look at that. 1 gift already. Alright, where am I in the chat? It's good to see all you guys. Timothy, what up, my bro? Good to see you in the chat, my man. Grogu is the GOAT, is he not? Thank you for helping me out with that audio glitch. I would have never known otherwise. How it happens is a new computer. That's how it happens. The Stanleys, it's alive. It's alive. Let's go. Yes, the Mythasaur is alive. So, that is my big question to you guys. Who do we think is going to become the next Mandalore, and who do we think is going to tame the Mythasaur, I guess you could say, in this next episode? Because obviously Din Djarin, Bo-Katan, and Grogu are the only 3 people down in these living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore. So is one of them going to, I guess, tame the beast or defeat the Mythasaur within that layer, I guess you could say? Or are they going to go to... Is Din Djarin going to go back to his people and kind of tell them, like, dudes, first of all, Mandalore, not poison like we thought. It's all good. I mean, it's not exactly all good, but it's not as bad as we thought. You know what I mean? Like, we can actually go to Mandalore and recreate our past, or recreate our world. You know what I mean? We can repopulate, whatever the case is. We can bring Mandalore back to its former glory. And I think that's going to be kind of what Din Djarin, his next move is, past whatever happens here with the Mythasaur. But now that it is awakened, who's going to tame it? I have a theory. I think Grogu is going to tame the Mythasaur. Now, it's possible that Bo-Katan tries to kind of fend it off. Maybe Din Djarin as well. The two of them, you know, being the warriors they are, they're going to see the Mythasaur and try to defend themselves and try to attack the beast, because it's a beast, you know what I mean? It might not even necessarily be attacking them, but I think they're going to attack it. And I think Grogu is going to use beast control, or the Force ability, to calm down creatures like we saw in the Book of Boba Fett, to calm down the Mythasaur. Now, it's possible also, and this would be kind of funny if they did this, but what if, like, Bo-Katan thinks she's the one that's kind of calming down the beast, but really in the background it's Grogu using the Force, and, like, she doesn't see that or something, you know what I mean? Maybe Din Djarin gets knocked out, she grabs the Darksaber to try and tame the Mythasaur, and she thinks whoever the wielder of the Darksaber is or something is the tamer of the Mythasaur. Maybe she's going to think that. Maybe that even is the case, where the Darksaber is going to basically be a signal to the Mythasaur that if this person can actually wield it and control it, that they are kind of chosen to lead Mandalore. Din Djarin also, for another kind of deeper dive into this theory, can't control the Darksaber to this point. He's still incapable of fully being able to control it, whereas Bo-Katan seemingly is, you know, using it to kick some butt, you know what I mean? Like, it's just an extension of her, whereas Din Djarin is fighting against the blade still. Maybe the Mythasaur will see Din Djarin wielding the blade and not being able to fully control it, and kind of knock him out or use its tail or something to be like, nah, you're not the rightful ruler, kind of thing. Like, you know, you're still struggling to wield it, and then I'll see Bo-Katan wielding it, and she'll be able to calm it down. But then again, maybe it's her with the Darksaber and thinking that that's the case, and Grogu's in the background using the Force going, you thought it was you, but it's me. It's me. What the heck, Vito? Dude! I doubt there's even 20 people in here to get those memberships, but oh my goodness. Much love to you, Vito. Thank you for the 20 Vader's Lair memberships. I don't even know if that's really visible behind the chat here, but thank you, my dude. The 20 people that get memberships, make sure to thank you to Vito, because I'm so grateful for you, my friend. Dude, Vito, you're too nice, my man. I love to give to my favorite people. Dude, Vito, you're too kind, my friend. You're too kind, my friend. Yes, if you happen to be a chat member, make sure to throw your Grogu emotes in the chat for all the hype. Let's go. All right, what is we thinking in the chat? Do you guys think I'm crazy? Do you think that Grogu is going to tame the Mythasaur? Is it going to be Bo-Katan? Is the Darksaber going to even have anything to do with it? I mean, Mandalore the First was the one that kind of, or was it, I think it was Mandalore the First that Bo-Katan said was the initial rider of the Mythasaur, or tamer of the Mythasaur. So maybe the Mythasaur is even a bigger kind of accomplishment than ruling with the Darksaber. Like, they've thought that the Mythasaur has been extinct for years, you know what I mean? Like millennia, probably. I don't know about that long, but a long time, right? So now that the Mythasaur has returned, would riding it probably, you know, being the tamer of the Mythasaur would probably be a higher status than, you know, wielding the Darksaber, especially if you can't wield it, really. You know what I mean? Brandon Alvarado, welcome into the chat, my man. Sorry if I can't see you guys. I gotta largen this this chat box up. How's we feeling though? Do you guys think that Grogu could be the one to tame the Mythasaur? Because that's really what this stream is supposed to be about. Could Grogu be the one to tame the Mythasaur? We've already seen him tame the, or not really tame, but use the Force to take down the what's it called back in season 1? Why can't I remember it? The Clanatu, whatever that thing is called, the Mudhorn. You guys are going to say it in the chat here in a second, I know for a fact. But the Mudhorn was also taken down by Grogu, or he was able to use the Force to kind of help Din Djarin to take it down at least. And then of course we saw him use, yeah, thank you Dale Herdman, the Mudhorn. He used the Force on the Rancor in the Book of Boba Fett as well. Could we see something similar, and would that indicate that Grogu is destined to kind of be the Mythasaur that will lead Mandalore into a new age? So to dive even further into this, and I'm probably going to make a short on it to be honest. Grogu back in season 1 was gifted or given this necklace by Din Djarin to indicate kind of that he was his foundling, I guess you could say, where he had this necklace with a Mythasaur skull on it. And maybe that's just because the armorer had the Mythasaur skull kind of above their armory, or whatever you want to call it. It was kind of the symbol that the Children of the Watch continued to take on, as it was the symbol of Mandalore in a way. Could we see the fact that Grogu had that necklace be kind of a hint towards the fact that he will be the next kind of leader or ruler of Mandalore, to unite the Mandalorian people? He would be the first Jedi Mandalorian since Tar Vizsla, a former rider of the Mythasaur himself. I mean, how cool would it be to see Grogu, this little small green dude, riding around this like city large wide Mythasaur and just ruling with the Darksaber and the Mythasaur in the future? Like, dude, sign me up. I love Grogu. I'm here for the ride. I think Grogu could be eventually the ruler of Mandalore. I don't think it's going to happen right away. I definitely don't think it's happening in season 3, but I think the foreshadowing and setup could be continued to see. We've already seen back in season 1, there's kind of the father and the son figure between Din Djarin and Grogu in episode 1, where it kind of resembles the Sistine Chapel and what you see in kind of some of those depictions with, I think it's God and Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like, and Din Djarin could be the one to kind of lead the people to unite together, and and then Grogu, his son, kind of could usher in that new age of Mandalore, riding the Mythasaur or being the tamer of the Mythasaur. That's what I'm thinking at this point, though. What is we saying in the chat? I'm going to go back up a little bit. Lord Vito says, but to be real, I love the Grogu emotes. Dude, I do too. Me and Tim were talking about it the other day. Best purchase I've ever made. Those things are so cool. I love them. I'm glad everybody in the chat is getting your memberships as well, so that they can throw them in too. That's so cool. Aaron Tomato says, I think Bo-Katan will take the lead, but it'll be a team effort in which Grogu plays a vital role. I think so too. Maybe they even leave the Mythasaur alone and try to get out of Dodge real quick, because maybe they can't overpower it. But I do think in the long run, seeing Grogu play a key and taming it or taking it down or whatever the case may be, because I don't really think they would kill the Mythasaur. You know what I mean? Maybe they would try to at first, or in defense try to take it down, but this is a legendary creature to the Mandalorians. And while many of them most likely purged them in their past, which we don't know the full canon history of, it's possible that, this creature being on the planet could usher in that new age or signal that new age is coming. Thank you, Tim, for throwing in the Vader's Lair Discord. If you guys want to check that out, it's an awesome place that I'm trying to be a little bit more active in. We can talk about Star Wars anytime you guys want. Hit me up. Feel free, because it is a fun place that we have a whole bunch of different channels in, whether you want to talk about the Bad Batch, the Mandalorian, get updated for every time that we go live or post something on Twitter, all the coolest places, and, you know, all the cool places that we're at. If you guys want to be alerted and hang out with us and most of the cool people you see in the chat, check out that Vader's Lair Discord that I just pinned into the chat. And thank you, Timothy, for posting it in there. I appreciate you, my brother. Let's get it going, though. Sabersmith says, smash that like button, my friends, please. It helps out a lot. Do it. Vito says, I'm so happy Mando is back. Me freaking too, man. I'm just getting the excitement out. I've been thinking about this stuff for days. Who's going to tame the Mythasaur? What does it signify having the Mythasaur back? I keep thinking back to that Book of Boba episode where the armorer kind of tells Din Djarin about the songs of eons past and where this all could be leading now that we actually see a Mythasaur. She thought that they was just in Legends. Nope. It's in canon now. Let's go, man. It's friggin' hype. Aaron Tomato says, I can see Grogu ruling down the line when he's more grown up, but I think Bo-Katan might be the first to usher in the new age of Mandalore. She definitely could be. Maybe all three of them end up playing a key role, like you guys are saying, in taming this beast. And maybe Bo-Katan even is the first rider of it. I wouldn't even be surprised if Din Djarin kind of is supposed to be the ruler here, where he's the reluctant ruler. He already has the Darksaber. He was the believer that, took Bo-Katan to the living minds of Mandalore in the first place. I mean, Bo-Katan led him there, but he actually believed the words he was saying. Maybe him going into the water and saying those words is what awoken the Mythasaur. Maybe it's just been hiding down there and sleeping all these years. Who knows? But I think the fact that he truly believed in what he was saying, he was already the wielder of the Darksaber, I think that could play a huge role into how the Mythasaur was awoken here in this past episode. We just need badges now, system. Yes, we do. And maybe we can add some Grogu being like the first one or something. I don't know. Well, we got to figure it out. Maybe now is the right time to talk about it, though. The Mandalorian says, I hope we bring Mandalore back. Mandalorian, I think we will. I think that's where the show is eventually going to be going. But the setup is still leading there. So we'll see what ends up happening. I know there's some Imperial remnants out there. I don't know how much of the Mandalorians we see in the sequel trilogy era. Maybe something happens to them where they end up going to the outer regions or something, or expanding their horizons beyond just that little mini portion of the galaxy that they're in. I mean, there is a lot of Mandalore space, but still, you know what I mean. I do think that we're leading to bringing back Mandalore, or at least the Mandalorian people. Who knows if Mandalore can really truly be brought back with all the war and history that it's had to endure, especially now that it's been glassed basically by the Empire. But maybe there is still something to forge or create from the ashes of it. I mean, something cool I noticed that they threw into to last episode is when you kind of get to Mandalore, it seems like the planet is just absolute havoc. Like there's storms going around all over the place. Like getting through it, you have to go through this whole storm cloud. The fact that there's no magnetic fields or whatever to where it was affecting kind of the compass or the route that Din Djarin was trying to see. It was hard for him to figure out where he was going. And I think all of this could honestly make Mandalore even a stronger stronghold for the Mandalorians, or make it so that people think that, Mandalore was glassed and destroyed, but really it's the perfect hiding place for them now, to hide in plain sight, I guess you could say, right? To be able to stay on this planet. Everyone thinks it was destroyed or glassed, and really they're thriving on there, or starting to reemerge on the planet. You know what I mean? Leia Rose, welcome into the chat, says, was Mando supposed to sink to the bottom of the water? I don't know. I guess so. You know what I mean? It's in retrospect, you always can ask, but I guess that was supposed to happen for him, or the story that he's continuing to journey on, right? I think there is some significance, though, to the fact that he was a true believer and was saying those words as he fell to the bottom. And even Bo-Katan kind of reignited her spark of, believing in the Mandalorian way, trying to reunite the people. Kind of worried that Bo-Katan might stab Din Djarin in the back at some point in the season, but I don't know yet. What do you guys think in the chat? Yes, we need badges, and we need them now. Do it, Sheiv. The Mandalorian says maybe Grogu might become the next Jedi Mandalorian. I think he's already kind of there, you know what I mean? He's not a full-fledged Mandalorian yet, but he's a Mandalorian foundling, just like his father before him. You know what I mean? But I think in a way he is already trained by the Jedi for probably like 20 years, plus whatever time he spent training with Luke. I think he's, you know, truly starting to learn the Mandalorian ways from his dad, Din Djarin. So he already kind of is a Mandalorian Jedi in a way, and the first since Tar Vizsla back in the day. So one of the only two. And the coolest part is that he's a Grogu species. You know what I mean? I think that's really cool. That's the coolest part of this whole Grogu theory of him potentially becoming the next Mandalore or being that Mythasaur to usher in a new age of Mandalore. What greater character to have usher in a new age for the Mandalorian people than a Yoda species who literally is going to live for another 800 or so years? It's kind of freaking brilliant. Really cool story writing. Like, that would be truly a new age of Mandalore, to have Grogu, an 800, 900-year-old Yoda species, leading the Mandalorians in a uniting way that truly lasts for generations. You know what I mean? Like, that's so cool. Lord Vito says, I have a strong feeling Bo and the armor will get along and Mando will have to choose between them. I think you're probably onto something there, Vito, saying that Bo and the armor are not going to get along. I don't think that they will. And in a way, I do think Din Djarin's going to have to choose between them. And it even could lead to a new Mandalorian civil war, because there's been so many already, you know what I mean? I mean, Fen Rao and Star Wars Rebels talked about how back before the Republic was even formed, the Mandalorians were fighting amongst each other, and there's been countless Mandalorian civil wars. We even were referred to one of the most recent Mandalorian civil wars in the Mandalorian Season 2 and now here in the Mandalorian Season 3, when Bo-Katan talks about how her father passed away and he died during some Mandalorian civil wars. And I believe Jango Fett was referred to by Boba back in Season 2 of Mandalorian, confirming that he was a Mandalorian foundling himself that fought in the Mandalorian civil wars as well. Now, those Mandalorian civil wars, a cool little tidbit is that they actually ended in the pacifist kind of rising up out of it, I guess you could say. I don't even know how to describe that, but basically the Mandalorian civil wars that ended with Bo and Satine's father dying led to Satine Kryze rising up to usher in an age of Mandalore where she basically was the Duchess ruling for peace, or trying to bring democracy in for peace of Mandalore instead of the warrior ways that their culture was so used to. I hope the armor is Omega, says Lord Vito. I kind of doubt it, but maybe. Timothy says, always hating on her. Dude, the armor, dude. Or Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan and the armor. To be honest, I hate on both of them. The armor is so stuck in her ways with this, like, culty following, and she's ruling it with an iron fist, not telling anybody nothing, because Din Djarin's like, when did this happen? How did that happen? I don't know anything about the Mandalorian culture, except that I should keep my helmet on, because that's what the armor told me. And that's why I beef with the armor. I'm like, what is you doing? And then Bo-Katan, I got beef because she used to be part of Death Watch, and I don't know, she's always been a little bit shady of a character. I love me some Bo-Katan and the armor, though. I'm excited to see how there's two stories could end up colliding, and to your guys' point, maybe the two of them aren't going to get along so well, being former members of Death Watch, most likely. They both think they're traitors. It's treason, then. Bo was dead inside, says Don Cotterman. To see Din's passion and faith did inspire her. He also showed respect to her father, who gave his life for Mandalore. Indeed, that was a pretty significant scene, I think, Don Cotterman. And I think it's going to make the pain of Bo-Katan stabbing him in the back later on in the season hurt even more. I don't know. I can't get rid of this feeling. I really started to think, oh, Bo-Katan's really trying to, like, she's already saved Din Djarin twice, if you think back to season 2 when she saved him, and now here in season 3. she really seems like she's kind of looking out for Din. But then, you know, when Grogu came back to her castle on Kalevala, she was like, he's back again, let's end this once and for all. And she's like ready to go out there and probably take the Darksaber back from him. You know what I mean? Like, there's some dark side to Bo-Katan still. Michael says, Michael says, hi Vader's Lair, do you hear about the make the Mandalorian season 4? So I think you're saying, did I hear that they're going to be making a season 4 of the Mandalorian? And yes, indeed. Vito, chill out, my dude. Oh my goodness, 5 more Vader's Lair memberships. Thank you, Lord Vito. I dub thee. Henceforth, you shall be known as Lord Vito. Thank you for the 5 memberships. If you happen to be gifted a membership from Vito, make sure to thank him in the chat. I don't know how everyone's not a member now at this point, because Vito is just handing out memberships left and right. Dude, thank you, my guy. Thank you. JQ says Bo-Katan has never fought Beast or ride a Beast whenever we see her, not including her first appearance in season 2. You're not wrong, JQ. I will say Star Wars Meg had seen this like Lego like story. I don't know if it was canon or what the case was, but she was fighting a beast in that. So that's the only reference we have is from a little Lego novel, I guess you could say. Vito, chill, my guy, chill. I truly don't know how everyone's not a member at this point. Thank you for the another 5 memberships, Lord Vito. I appreciate you, my man. I hope those actually end up winding with somebody. You know what I mean? Sabersmith a little earlier says, knowing Carson Teva is in the mix makes me think Din will be called to do more beyond building back Mandalore. It's definitely possible he could be helping out the New Republic too. I mean, he's been very hesitant to work alongside the New Republic in the first 2 seasons and in the Book of Boba Fett as well. But I could definitely see him having to finally step up and actually help whatever is going on in the darker regions of the galaxy. Timothy a little earlier says they did such a great job bringing Bo-Katan into live action. They truly did, man. They got her armor perfect. Katie Sackhoff coming back to portray her in live action. Absolute perfection. Not only is she the voice, but she truly has kind of become Bo-Katan in a way. The two of them are definitely one and the same. You know what I mean? Dale Erdman says that love-hate relationship. That's definitely what we got with Bo-Katan. You know what I mean? We love her, and part of her is like that she's a little sketchy. Leia Rose, welcome to the memberships. I'm glad you have been gifted a membership by Lord Vito. Much love to you, Leia Rose. Michael says Lord Vito is the chosen one. Indeed, or so the prophecy says. And so let's kind of continue on with this Grogu theory that I have here of him potentially being the chosen one. Now, Grogu was born, if you do the math, him being 50 years old at the time of The Mandalorian Season 1. He would have been born the same exact year as another chosen one, Anakin Skywalker. And maybe this is kind of the Force just balancing itself out. You know what I mean? Like, it has a way of trying to bring balance. Maybe he's not exactly the Jedi chosen one, like I was saying earlier. Although, again, even Yoda says in, I think, Revenge of the Sith, when talking to Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, a prophecy that misread could have been. Maybe it wasn't Anakin who was the chosen one. Although I definitely will say, in my personal opinion, it was Anakin. But that's the cool thing about Star Wars, is a lot of times things are left open-ended into the viewer's interpretation. So whether you are a prequels fan and you believe that Anakin is the chosen one and always was, or whether you're an original trilogy fan and you think that Luke Skywalker was the chosen one, of that era he kind of was. He brought balance by turning Darth Vader back to the light side. If you're a sequel trilogy fan, I think it's fair to say that Rey could be the chosen one of that era. The Jedi all kind of following behind her to take down Palpatine once and for all. Palpatine even being her grandfather, and her choosing to be, fall in the path of the light instead of the path of the dark, like him. You know what I mean? Like, I think no matter what way you kind of want to interpret it, there's many chosen ones throughout the Star Wars era, and now I think Grogu could be a chosen one, and maybe again not for the Jedi, although maybe he is, but maybe for the Mandalorians, where he's the chosen one, where the songs of eons past foretold that the Mythasaur would rise up and herald in a new age for Mandalore. I think that could be Grogu. I think he is the chosen one, at least maybe for the Mandalorian people. No, there is another, says Dale Erdman. I mean, the another that that Yoda was talking about was definitely Leia back during, what was that, Empire? Or was that, that was Empire, yeah. There is another. Maybe there is another is Grogu, though, too. Who knows? The Mandalorian says, am I able to learn the Force? If you're talking about Din Djarin, I don't think Din Djarin is Force sensitive, but the Force does flow and live through all living things through some aspect. It's just some have a closer connection to it and can actually wield the Force compared to others. In my personal opinion, I don't think that Din Djarin can actually wield the Force, but obviously it does live through him as it does with every character in Star Wars. I don't think there's multiple chosen ones. The Force creates them when needed. Stanley's, I think that's a great point of view too, man. I definitely think that's a great point of view. Sonia, welcome into the chat, says, hi, it's me, Sonia. I just got back from doing my workouts at the gym, YMCA. Yo, I hope it was enjoyable. I hope you had a nice workout. Much love. Leia Rose says, Rey Palpatine Skywalker lives forever. Yes, good. Good. Lord Vita says, also, I went to the Met today, Manhattan, and I'll post pics in Discord. Dude, I gotta check that out. That's what's up. Talented Mr. Griffin says, was Revan ever stated as being a chosen one? I don't know. I actually downloaded, so I got a new PC finally, and thank you all for supporting the channel, because you guys definitely were able to make that happen, and, you know, continue to make the dream feel like a reality for me. Closing in on close to 1.5 thousand subs and getting closer to 2,000 every single day. The support that you guys give here at Vader's Lair means the world to me and to this community. You guys are the absolute best, and I'm happy to be able to upgrade a little bit. I know I'm still working out the kinks, but I'm happy to upgrade my system to give you guys better streams and better quality videos here in the future, and hopefully more videos in general in the future. So thank you all for helping support that. And as far as Revan, and getting back to that, I downloaded the Old Republic game. Not Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic game on my new PC. I got to get into those games because I don't know the full story of Revan and all of them. Like I know the kind of outlines, and I've watched other YouTube videos to kind of get the explanation and learn kind of a little bit about Revan for myself, because I think he's a highly intriguing character, and I really want them to bring Revan into canon. I don't know if he was ever stated as being a chosen one. I know he was crucial to the Jedi Order. He even became a Sith at one point and then became a Jedi once more. And I do think he was kind of the chosen one of that time period, if you're kind of want to put it that way, you know what I mean? So I don't think he was ever initially stated as a chosen one, as far as I know, but he is kind of a chosen one of his era, at least in EU. I really hope that they end up doing that Knights of the Old Republic game, or finishing that up, and hopefully making it kind of a canon video game. You know, I talked about recently how I want to see a Tar Vizsla game. Would be so cool, man. And that would, to me, that would be sick. Like, actually being the first Mandalorian Jedi, leading the people and uniting them with the Darksaber. I think that would be such a cool video game for them to make. And if we don't get that, at least getting a canon for, like, tale, I guess you could say, of the Knights of the Old Republic would be chef's kiss. I would love it, man. Can't speed past the PC. What are the specs? I gotta post them in the Discord, because it's not a bad PC at all. I bought a pre-built one, to be honest. I know that's maybe not the best way to go, but it's immensely better than the Mac that I was running things on. And then I'm really excited to be able to, you know, upgrade and do a little bit more here on the channel and not have to deal with the lag that comes with running everything off of my Mac. So you guys made that happen, though. Thank you all for all your support. JQ says Din is still having trouble and will learn from Bo-Katan. I would love to see that, man. I'm going to be making some shorts here on who I think could potentially teach Din Djarin how to wield the Darksaber. Bo-Katan is an awesome candidate at this point. After seeing her kind of wield it, Din Djarin seeing her wield it, that would be brilliant. You know what I mean? I'm here for that. So hopefully they do something like that. If it's not Bo-Katan, though, maybe Ahsoka or Sabine would be really, really cool to me. Talented Mr. Griffin can... I read that one. Brandon Alvarado says, I love this awesome community. Me freaking too, man. You guys are the best. That was a loud motorcycle. JQ says, Din still having trouble and will learn from Bo-Katan. Read that one. Saber Smith says, seeing Din and Grogu teach Grogu things is so heartwarming. It really is, though. Grogu seems more mature this season. I like where they are taking him. Me too, man. I can't wait to see where the Grogu story goes. We got so much storytelling to tell for him, I think, in the future. I don't think they're going to kill off a character like that. Like, you could literally tell whole trilogies, like an entire saga of Grogu's life, and we would all be here for it. You know what I mean? 9 to 12 movies of Grogu's life after The Mandalorian, wherever this show ends up leading to kind of taking him, and a whole 9 to 12 movies of Grogu. Do it. I think we would all see those. You know what I mean? It's a solid upgrade. I appreciate it, man. Dude, I hope it is, man. I know I was sharing it with you, Tim. I mean, the stream seems like it's running a little bit better to me, but we'll see. I probably have to run Ethernet through it and everything to really get it to the full potential of what this bad boy can do. But it's definitely a solid upgrade. Saber Smith says, I read that one. What else do we see in the chat? JQ says, what would happen if Bo-Katan meets up with Boba Fett again? Interesting. I don't know. I've been wondering for a while now if Boba Fett's going to be in the Mandalorian Season 3. I don't know if there's any confirmations or anything out there. Seeing that Din Djarin already went to Tatooine, crossing my fingers that he is. I think that Boba Fett is on the trajectory of becoming a Mandalorian himself, or kind of indoctrinating himself into the Mandalorian culture. His father was a Mandalorian foundling at one point, and he was kind of raised up as a Mandalorian foundling. So I would hope that the next time that we see Bo-Katan, the next time we see Boba Fett is hopefully in the Mandalorian Season 3, and him kind of starting to become a Mandalorian. And having an interaction between him and Bo, like, it could be like Bo kind of recognizing him as a Mandalorian, hearing of his past as a foundling, kind of being raised up as a foundling. I like that, a lot. I like the idea that the Mandalorians are people more so than like a race. It's a creed, I guess you could say. And I think Bo-Katan could definitely see Boba Fett at some point as part of that creed, and I think Boba Fett could definitely be indoctrinated into that creed. I hope she teaches me, because it'd be heavy. The Mandalorian. I feel you, Din. I mean, we see Sabine Wren struggling to wield the Darksaber in Star Wars Rebels. We see Paz Vizsla in the Book of Boba Fett struggling to wield it as well as Din Djarin. You know what I mean? So Din Djarin is definitely not the first person to struggle wielding the Darksaber, and I think honestly the main reason that he can't, or that he's having a hard time wielding it, is because he doesn't want the responsibility that comes with it. He I think he wants to reunite the Mandalorians. He wants to do all that, but at the same time, I think he also doesn't even think he's worthy to wield it as a Mandalorian that took off his helmet. How cool would it be if Din Djarin, now that he's bathed in the mines of Mandalore, feels worthy of wielding the saber? And he's like, I want this. We can reunite the people, you know what I mean? Seeing the Mythasaur, having the Darksaber, finally repenting for his sin of taking off the helmet. Such a terrible thing to do. But finally doing that, maybe he feels more confident in himself, and maybe that's going to lead to Bo-Katan being like, well, now that you actually want to rule, I'm cool with challenging you. How cool would it be to see Bo-Katan challenge Din Djarin? And it wouldn't be the first time that we've seen a Pedro Pascal character be challenged to a fight. You know what I mean? I think back to Game of Thrones, where he was challenged to a fight, or in a fighting challenge, I guess you could say, where he got his eyes smashed in. I mean, maybe that's foreshadowing in a deep way to what will happen to Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin. Yes, Tim says, feel free to post some memes in the Discord. Do it. please, it is always welcome in the Discord for memes or whatever you guys want to post in there. Make sure to follow the rules though, because we do have a set of rules in the Discord on certain just little minor things. Try not to cuss too much. Try and keep it family friendly. No nudity or anything like that. But go check out our Discord, man, because it's definitely a fun place to hang out, and memes are always welcome. That sounded more like a muscle car, says Dale Erdman. Maybe it was. The gaming power is so zoom. Yeah, dude. Don, the gaming power is definitely going to be a lot better here. We're going to be able to do a lot more gaming stuff, and it's going to look a lot better and less laggy. You know what I mean? If you guys have seen some of the Vader's Lair gaming that we've done in the past, or followed our other channel, Sheiv the Wise, on YouTube, you know that at times the computer was having a hard time streaming that stuff. No longer. No longer are the days of laggy streams of gaming. That will never happen again. Don says, I hope you realize how pleasant it is to come here and not get either character or actor hate. There are those who love to hate, but that's part of the story. That's really what it is. Like, I never see it as like hating the character. It's like, or like hating the actor. The actor and the character are separate. You can have dislike for the character, like darn that that darn Moff Gideon always trying to take Grogu's blood and clone Palpatine. Like, what I mean? Like, we did like Moff Gideon, but we definitely love Giancarlo Esposito and the way that he brings Moff Gideon to life as well. And even then, like, you don't really hate on Moff Gideon. You love to hate it. Is really what. That's part of the story. You know what I mean? To Don's point. Oh no lag here, the Stanleys, please. No. That sounds like a muscle car that's trying to poop itself. Alright. Tim, thank you for posting in the second channel. The Sheiv the Wise YouTube channel. Go check that out. We're going to try to do some more gaming stuff on there pretty soon here. I'm excited for Jedi Survivor to be coming out. We're going to be doing that here on this channel, though. But I'm excited for that game to come out, man. I'm actually downloading Fallen Order again on the PC to play through it one more time before. So maybe we'll play that on the other channel. Sabersmith says, I've been spending time in Blind Waves and Kyle Katarn's live stream. They're great communities as well. Yeah, dude, I'll hang out in Kyle Katarn's streams every now and then. It's tough because a lot of the times we'll be streaming around the same times as each other, talking about different things. And he does live in a different time zone. But I definitely got some respect for the community that Kyle Katarn is building up. He seems like a really cool dude. Your stream does look smoother. Good. Probably brighter because of my light today too. You know what I mean? Like, we got a weird thing going on right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Oh, see, I gotta figure out how to use this light properly because it's like, it weirds me out, man. It's weird. There we are. That's a little better, I think. Geek Ledger, welcome in the chat. He says, I personally think Din is the next Mandalore. The season will end with Din accepting the throne and Bo-Katan walking into the waters, starting a revival of the way. That would be freaking cool, man. I'm a big Din Djarin stan. Like, Din Djarin has easily become one of my favorite Star Wars characters probably ever, alongside Grogu, of course. I love the kind of story they're building with him. I think him being the leader of the Mandalorian people would be brilliant. I'm a little worried, though. I'm not going to lie. So, you guys remember that little shard of glass that Din Djarin in Season 3, Episode 1, the premiere of this season, was showing to the armorer to prove that Mandalore was glassed, or at least that the surface was inhabitable, I guess you could say. Is that a ring light? No, it's not. It's a light off of Amazon. It's alright. It's a new light. It's pretty good, to be honest. I like it. It's just too bright sometimes. I gotta figure it out still. Where was I? Where was I with Din Djarin? I love Din Djarin, man. I'm a little worried. So he brought that shard right to the armor, and there's like some what looked like Mandalorian hieroglyphics, or I believe it was Mandoa is the Mandalorian writing. That Mandalorian writing was actually translated by, I think, New Rockstars and a whole bunch of other YouTube channels, but basically it says a passage from the Bible about the Israelites leaving Egypt is kind of what it's about, and it just kind of foretells the story of Moses in a way, I guess you could say. And there's been a lot of biblical themes throughout the Mandalorian Season 3 in particular, let alone Mandalorian Season 1 with, again, the Sistine Chapel, Grogu, the father and son kind of thing. But it's kind of the story of Moses in a way. And I'm worried that Din Djarin is the Moses of this story, where he's going to kind of lead his people out of Egypt, I guess you could say, or out of the imperial enslavement that they've been in all these years, and imperial tyranny that Mandalore and all of the galaxy has had to endure. And he's going to be the one to reunite Mandalore, except he's going to be cast out, or something is going to happen to him like Moses, to where he can't go to the promised land, but he's going to lead the Mandalorians back to the promised land. You know what I mean? That's what I'm worried about, and because it seems already that they're kind of setting up this kind of biblical journey for Din Djarin in a way. The Mandalorians are kind of portrayed as like the Christian kind of faith. That's what it seems like, at least this season. So maybe that's where it's going to lead. I don't mean to get it all like, political or religious, but that's kind of what it seems like. They're portraying those themes. Moses got to see the promised land of Canaan, but never got to enter. That's exactly the story of Moses. Thank you, MCUOG. It's been a long time since I read that passage, but that's what happens to Moses. He got to see the promised land of Canaan, but never got to enter. So maybe that's going to be Din Djarin down the road, or maybe there's another character that's going to portray the role of Moses, whether it's, Bo-Katan, or who knows, because Bo-Katan has taken off her helmet. Although, she did kind of take a bath in the mines of Mandalore. She just didn't say all the words. You know what I mean? Hey, Baby Max, good to see you in the chat. He says, I'm on a flight to Australia to watch in the lair. Much love, my dude. I hope you enjoy your time in Australia. And it's good to see you in the chat. It is a freaking lit time in the fandom. So definitely excited to see you, my man. Geek Ledger says, new tradition idea for the Mandalorian people. They take the surface crystal glass and use that for the helmet visor moving forward. Dude, that would be pretty sick. That would be pretty sick. A way to never forget the destruction of Mandalore. I'm with it, dude. I think the armor could definitely do some stuff like that. Who knows exactly how these glasses were made? Like, it seems like it's all the sand from some of the past Mandalorian wars was kind of fused from the bombings and like nukes that was dropped down on Sundari and Mandalore from basically the Empire. You know what I mean? Aaron Tomato says, as a somewhat religious person myself, the commentary on religious factions in the show definitely hits home. It does, dude. And it's interesting because even within Christianity, there's different sects, or I guess like beliefs within the Christian communities. Whether you're Catholic or, just have different certain, religious perspective as a Christian. Like there's different, sects of it again. And that's kind of the way it is on Mandalore, too. Like, similar to Westeros and Game of Thrones as well, where there's different houses and, all this kind of hierarchy to the Mandalorian culture, where I'm sure there's even houses that are, like, almost insignificant, that maybe Jango Fett was even a part of as a young boy or something. You know what I mean? Don Cotterman says, whenever a Knight of the Grail tried to follow a path made by someone else, he went altogether astray. Where there is a way or path, it is someone else's footsteps. And that seems like that's what Din Djarin is following. The footsteps laid before him by the armorer and the kind of cult that he's become. Ooh, Tim, dude, me freaking too. Tim says in the chat, I hope we see Ursa this season, referring to Ursa Wren, the mother of Sabine Wren. Ursa Wren's a really cool character. I think she was actually a member of Death Watch alongside Bo-Katan, and maybe even a member of Bo-Katan's Owls, which I want to make a short on that. I think she was a member of Bo-Katan's Owls, or the Night Owls. we see Ursa Wren back in the Clone Wars a couple of times, and we know that she was a part of the Siege of Mandalore back when Maul was the ruler, I guess you could say, for a short time. I would love to see Ursa Wren here after the setup that we see her have in kind of going against the Empire back in Rebels, obviously being Sabine's mother, being kind of a big fan of Bo-Katan, or, you know, being kind of Bo-Katan's right side back in the day. That would be so cool to see her back in this, and it would make a lot of sense. She definitely is one of the leaders of House Wren. If she's still around at this point, which I imagine she would be, I definitely could see Ursa Wren popping up this season, and that would be awesome. That would be awesome. Yeah, Geek Ledger, I hear you, my guy. The Mandalorian says, which metal is stronger, adamantium, vibranium, or Beskar? I want to say adamantium's the strongest. I don't know. Beskar has never really been compared to the two, in my opinion, because it's, you know, it's from Star Wars and not Marvel. But that's an interesting question. I imagine adamantium is probably the strongest, because I think adamantium is like a stronger version of vibranium, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how exactly it works in the Marvel universe, but adamantium at times I think can cut through vibranium. So I think adamantium would be the strongest, not to mention that lightsabers can cut through Beskar if they're on it for a long enough period of time. That's why you get the high-pitched squeal. It's like, oh man, I can only take so much of this. Like, that's my at least understanding of it. I don't know. That's an interesting question. I could definitely see that taking place. Baymax says we got to get some Pershing next episode. Feels like it's coming. I'm wondering if it's going to be this episode or in episode 4 or 5, kicking off kind of the mid-season point. But I definitely agree. We got to get that Pershing story continued. I think that there's more Mandalore story to build, or Mandalorian story to build in this next episode, especially after seeing the Mythasaur. But I think the Pershing storyline is coming. I think we're going to see Moff Gideon again. I think Moff Gideon might even be, you know, serving, or, you know, he's maybe being put on trial by the New Republic, and it would be so cool to see, you know, Pershing kind of be taken in for questioning or used as kind of a witness to the crimes of Moff Gideon, and then, you know, maybe somehow the two of them end up escaping. It seemed like Pershing was on either Coruscant or on in the New Republic's like kind of Coruscant, I guess you could say. What is it called? Brain fart here. I don't know. I forget what it's called. It's the Hosnian Prime. Hosnian Prime looks a lot like Coruscant, and it is kind of the Coruscant of the New Republic. So maybe we're going to see Hosnian Prime, and that's where we actually see Pershing in that trailer. But either way, whether it's, you know, Hosnian Prime or Coruscant, same difference. You know what I mean? Ah, that's why my window's open. I'm like, why can I hear all of these loud cars today? But I'm wondering if it's going to be Hosnian Prime or Coruscant. Not that it really matters. I think either way that there's going to be a trial, basically, for either Pershing or Moff Gideon, and one of them or both of them are going to escape in a way. I wouldn't even imagine, I wouldn't doubt if Moff Gideon ends up escaping and killing Pershing so that he can't tell them anything. You know what I mean? Beskar and Zilla B scales are the strongest, says Don Clutterman. Indeed. In the Star Wars universe, they're two of the strongest armors that there are, for sure. A lightsaber can't even cut through them. JQ says, in season 1 of Peaky Blinders, the Blinders are having a gang war between the Lee families, but Tommy Shelby arranged a wedding to unite the families together. Interesting. Maybe, you know, a lot of people have been shipping Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. Maybe the two are going to be kind of wed as the two of them went into the waters. I don't know if wed is even the right word, but maybe the two of them kind of, you know, get together to unite the sex of men. You know what I mean? I don't know. I honestly don't know about the whole Din-Bo thing that we've been talking about. You know, shipping the two of them. It definitely could make sense. But I feel like it would be more kind of a I feel like she's going to stab him in the back, if I'm being honest. And I think it could be more that she's kind of a mother figure to Grogu, the same way that Din Djarin is a father figure to him. But I don't know, either way, you know what I mean? It's interesting to me that Bo-Katan's already saved Din Djarin a couple of times here in Season 2 and now in Season 3. And I don't know. I'm interested to see where the two story goes, and I think the two of them could bring in a new Age of Mandalore together. What up, Dan the Man, my positive Star Wars fans? What up, my dude? Good to see you in the chat. It's always good to have some Star Wars positivity. That came out wrong. Positivity in your life. Always good to have Star Wars positivity in your life. Where's Timothy? Timothy says, imagine Cad Bane breaking out Gideon Clone Wars style. Bro, he's alive! That would be freaking crazy. They already did some stuff to me that feels like Clone Wars here in Season 3. Or, like, you know, they're continuing that style or flavor. I felt like Gorian Shard was, like, straight out of the Clone Wars, and to me, at least. He reminded me a lot of Admiral Trench. I would love that, man. I would love to see something like Cad Bane or a bounty hunter breaking out Moff Gideon from the New Republic Senate, or, you know, the New Republic prisons, I guess. We actually even saw Din Djarin breaking out a character from a New Republic prison at 1.2, so maybe we'll get something like that. I don't think it'll be Din, obviously. Din wouldn't break out Moff Gideon. Geek Ledger says, I really wish Disney Plus would release new stuff more than twice a week. We have Plus original shows air on Wednesdays, plus original movies on Friday, and catalog content on Wednesday and Friday. Yeah, dude, the more the shows, the better to me. But people worry about them getting washed up content or like weaker content to that. They want quantity over quality, or quality over quantity, I guess you could say. And I'm cool with quality and quantity. You know, we could do both. More shows and make them all good. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like they're trying to do, is make as many shows as good as they can as possible. And we know that Disney is actually going to be slowing down some of the productions. I don't think Star Wars is going to get hit too much from that, where they're going to have to slow down as many shows as they're putting out, because they're only putting out 3 to 4 shows a year really anyway. So I think that's going to continue to be the case. Marvel, on the other hand, I think Marvel's going to slow down a little bit on how many shows they're putting out, because they are putting out a lot, and I'm sure it's costing Disney a whole lot of money. You know what I mean? Aaron Tomato says, the only ship I've ever been behind was Din O'Mara, the widow from the Sanctuary. Yeah, dude, me too. I like Din O'Mara too. Din Mara. Yeah. Or Omdin. Omerdin? I don't know. How would that work? Geek Ledger says, like, have a catalog TV show on Monday, plus original TV movies on Wednesday, and catalog movies on Friday. All right. So kind of like a cable thing for Disney Plus, or like a release schedule. Dude, I'm with it. Have like Friday is Star Wars Day or something. You know what I mean? We get Marvel Night on Tuesdays. I don't know. I'm with you though. That'd be kind of a cool addition for Disney. Dan the Man says tomorrow's Mando episode is an hour long. We might be getting that big battle against the pirates. Also, Boa has clearly stated her disdain for Din. I don't think that we'll see it working out. Me either. I'm here for it if it does happen. I mean, sometimes opposites attract. Seeing Din's kind of belief in the Mandalorian ways could maybe change her mind. But I'm with you, man. Someone else on Twitter was like, just because 2 characters spend time together doesn't mean we have to ship them. Doesn't mean that the girl is gonna fall in love with the dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's not how it works all the time. And I think that Bo does have kind of a dislike for Din. She told him, leave Moff Gideon for me. Didn't listen to that. Took him down. Took the Darksaber for himself. Screw that guy. You know what I mean? Tim says, I don't know. I like having good shows. I think we're getting a lot. I think it's good right now. Me too, man. I'm excited for all the Star Wars that's coming this year, too. And I think we had an amazing Star Wars in 2022, in my opinion. So many cool shows, whether it was Andor, Kenobi. There was a lot going on, man. Tales of the Jedi randomly came out of nowhere. It was amazing. I think 2023 is set up to even be bigger here, with already Bad Batch and The Mandalorian in just the first couple of months. Ahsoka's coming around the corner. We're getting Star Wars Celebration pretty soon, which I think it's going to be a huge Star Wars celebration. We're going to find out about some of the movies coming in the Star Wars universe too. And there was even confirmation again recently that Damon Lindelof's, I hope I said that correct, Damon Lindelof's Star Wars movie is supposed to be the next one coming in 2025. I'm here for it, man. It is a fun time in the fandom. We're going to get on out of here in the next couple of minutes. So if you guys have any last questions or comments or theories, and whether or not you think that Grogu is going to be the chosen one for the Mandalorian people, or just the chosen one of this time period in general, let me know down in the comments below. Who do you think is going to basically tame the Mythasaur or become the rider of the Mythasaur? Whether it's Bo-Katan, Din Djarin, Grogu, maybe another character. If you guys have any other ideas of who it could potentially be, maybe Boba Fett down the line. That'd be pretty cool. He did tame a Rancor at one point himself, so another character that's tamed a Rancor or a beast in the past. I mean, you know, Boba Fett's signet is even the Mythasaur too, so who knows? Maybe Boba Fett could be the Mandalore down the line. But let me know what you guys are thinking. We'll get into the chat here before we head out. But thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. Don Cotterman says, yes, I don't think that it was just a trope that Omera had weapons knowledge. There was something and other Easter eggs in that chapter. I do think there was something with Omera there too, and she did seem to have kind of a past to herself. I really hope that we see Omera down the line again, and that Din Djarin has another opportunity to choose a life with her potentially, especially maybe if the Mandalorians can take off their helmets, or maybe he even brings her into the Mandalorian culture at some point too. Dan the Man says Omera can dark my saber on any parsec. I'm dead. I'm so dead. Alright. Geek Ledger says Marvel Mondays, Pixar Tuesdays, Star Wars Wednesdays, General TV Thursdays, and Movie Fridays, and Disney Saturdays. Save Sundays for potential live events or something. There you go. I mean, they do own ESPN Plus, so maybe even have air streaming of, you know, some of the football games or something on ESPN Plus. That would be cool if they could do that, you know, get the rights. It would be a full Disney rotation during the week. That would be awesome. What up, Smalls? We're gonna be getting out of here. I apologize, but thank you for hanging out with us in the chat. You ever think the Darksaber curse is only applying to Vizsla bloodline, considering that they stole the blade? Interesting, JQ. I don't know. I think there's something to the curse of the Darksaber, but it could just be, you know, random coincidence. But you know, to quote, who's the dude in Kung Fu Panda, the turtle guy, not Master Shifu, but the other one, Oogway, right? Master Oogway. There are no accidents. So the Force kind of works in mysterious ways, man. So I don't know. maybe there is something to that Darksaber curse and earning it through combat. I don't know though. The Darksaber has led to a lot of combat, and I think that's really what the symbol of the Darksaber is. It's not really a thing that unites the Mandalorian people unless it's wielded by a Jedi, maybe. Because I mean, we saw, you know, Tar Vizsla is the one that created the Darksaber and used it to unite the Mandalorian people. But after that, it seems like, you know, house after house has kind of been trying to wield the Darksaber for themselves and really take it to claim Mandalore. It's not something that really unites the Mandalorian people at this point. It kind of just divides them. I mean, even in the Book of Boba Fett, we see Paz Vizsla is still trying to challenge Din for it. I actually wouldn't be surprised if we see another character try to challenge Din Djarin for the Darksaber in tomorrow night's episode. But I'm excited to see where the story goes, man. Don Clotterman says, something that got me is the rag he had cleaning his weapon. It was the scarlet red of his childhood robes. It was like the last scrap of his former life. Yeah, in that scene with Omera, right? Back in, maybe he still carries around that rag, but that is a red rag, and it kind of symbolizes the red cloak that his parents wore. He also had flashbacks in that episode too. Indeed, he did. I was thinking about giving it, but okay. Dan the Man says, not sure where the Crosshair story is going to go, but I don't think he'll be back with the batch. It'll be cool to see him go his own way. I'm really terrified that, you know, the Empire's going to do something to Crosshair to make him like frontal lobotomy or something, to make him more machine than man, I guess, or make him kind of a robot in the brain and only follow orders. Maybe like enhance or put a new chip in his brain that only makes him follow orders. The entire time Crosshair has wanted to be a soldier, and he's stuck with the Empire through thick and thin, and them doing all these terrible things because all he knew was being a soldier. And I think he finally realized that what they're doing isn't right. You know, I mean, he finally caught up to speed with where the Bad Batch were in season 1, and now he's getting that choice, I think, taken away from him, where he's going to have to be a soldier, even though he doesn't maybe want to be at this point, and that'll be tragic to see. Tim says the turtle in Kung Fu Panda used to be a Jedi. He was indeed. He's like as wise as Yoda. You know what I mean? In my experience, there is no such thing as luck. Indeed, Dale Erdman. Me neither. I think that things happen for a reason, generally. We need more lore on the Darksaber. Indeed, we do, talented Mr. Griffin. That's why I'm saying, Lucasfilm, if you're listening out there, Disney, somebody, please make a Tar Vizsla game. Teach us about the Darksaber, how it was created. Even have us as Tar Vizsla create it in the game. That would be so cool to see. Being a Mandalorian Jedi in a video game. Just do it. Do it, Disney, please. You know what I mean? All right, y'all, we're going to get on out of here, but thank you all for hanging out with us, and thank you all for your support. It really means the world to me. Make sure to smash that like button before we go. Thank you all for supporting the channel. I cannot believe we finally got that new PC. I hope that the streams are going to end up running a lot better, and I'm going to get to work. I'm going to get to work here on some shorts and some videos to get out to you guys now that we have a computer that probably can handle some cooler stuff. So appreciate all you guys. Thank you all for your support. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday. I'll see you guys tomorrow night, because we're going to be doing a whole bunch of streams for the Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 3. We're going to probably be doing a preview stream around 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to adjust your clocks and realize, you know, figure out where your time zone is compared to me right now, because here in California, the time zone did change. We did go back, I think, forward an hour. I don't know how it works anymore, but it's 6:37 here right now. So whatever time it is for you, adjust accordingly, because at midnight tomorrow night, the next episode of Mandalore, or the Mandalorian Season 3, is going to be coming out here at midnight, here at my time. That did just change. So make sure to sync it up. We're going to be, and again, we're going to be doing our preview streams probably around 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Bad Batch and for the Mandalorian Season 3. So I'll see you guys there tomorrow. Make sure to subscribe if you want to hang out and check that out. Check out our Discord that Tim has pinned to the chat. I appreciate all you guys. Matthew Cruz, thank you for being a member for 7 months. And have a fantastic rest of your night, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. And may the Force be with you always. Spring forward, fall back. Yeah, that's how it works. I guess that's how it works. Daylight savings is just killing me, man.
Because of his personal experiences there. But also
thank you all, though, and may the Force be with you guys.
Because of it.
Peace. Even joking. I've been getting murdered by this time change. I woke up like 2.5 hours late for work, which just does not happen. My sleep schedule is all out of whack. Adjust your clocks and adjust your body clocks, people, because I'm having a rough time. Thank you guys, though. It was an awesome blast hanging out with you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for some Mandalorian madness. Let's go. Peace.